The first officer monitors the approach using information on the primary flight display, PFD. An expanded localizer is displayed on the PFDs during Category 3 approach and low visibility takeoff. When A3 is selected as the active HGS mode, a green A3 indication is shown on the PFD, corresponding to the A3 on the pilot symbology on the combiner. If in A3 mode and any capability loss occurs, causing no A3 to be displayed on the combiner, a corresponding amber A3 indication is shown on the PFD. The red approach warning message is only displayed below 500 feet. It is displayed simultaneously on the combiner anytime the following conditions occur: an out-of-tolerance condition, a loss of A3 capability. The approach warning annunciation appears in the same PFD display position as the flare and idle messages. If the flare and idle annunciations are present when the approach warning annunciation event occurs, they are removed. The green flare annunciation is an indication to the first officer that the flare guidance is active and corresponds to the display on the combiner of the flare cue when it is merged with the guidance cue. This annunciation is intended to alert the first officer to monitor the flare execution. The green idle annunciation is an indication to the first officer that the pilot should idle the aircraft for touchdown. Two HGS annunciations are provided on the ICAS display to provide system status information to the crew. These messages are displayed as follows: A3 not availed. This message is displayed in blue text to indicate HGS or related sensors are not capable of supporting A3 operations. This could be due to a sensor failure, a miscompare between dual sensors, or incorrect setting of instruments required for a Cat 3A approach. HGS failed. This message is displayed in blue text to indicate that there is a failure in one or more of the HGS LRUs. Let us talk about the HGS operating modes and how they are used during flight operations from takeoff to landing. The HGS has four modes of operation. Primary mode: climb, en route, descent, approach, and landing. Cat 2 and Cat 1. The guidance source is the FGS. For flight operation low visibility takeoff, the guidance source is the HGS. A3 approach mode: Cat 3A or Cat 2 ILS approach and landing. The guidance source is the HGS. IMC approach mode: FGS autopilot flight director approach. The guidance source is the FGS. VMC approach mode: visual approach. These modes can be selected at any time with the exception of A3, which is available only after ILS capture. Primary mode overview. The HGS primary mode display is very similar to the primary flight display, PFD, so that the pilot's transition from the head-down instruments to head-up symbology is facilitated. A typical in-flight primary mode display includes the following symbolic information. Take a look at the corresponding symbols. The aircraft reference, boresight symbol, represents the projected center line of the aircraft. The top center point of the symbol is the actual boresight point. The aircraft reference symbol is positioned at a fixed location on the display 4 degrees above the display's vertical center. It is not dependent on any sensor or equipment inputs. The display is similar in operation to the aircraft symbol on the conventional attitude instruments and is always present when the HGS is powered and operating normally. A pitch scale is displayed above and below the horizon line. When the aircraft attitude is such that the 0-degree pitch line or the flight path symbol cannot be displayed conformally, the pitch scale is compressed. The HGS displayed 0-degree pitch line represents the aircraft's local level, attitude, meaning that the 0-degree pitch line always indicates a zero pitch attitude relative to the Earth. The 0-degree pitch line is displayed relative to the aircraft reference symbol and is positioned based on the current aircraft pitch and roll attitude. The vertical position of the 0-degree pitch line relative to the aircraft reference symbol is the pitch attitude. The roll scale shows above the aircraft reference symbol with tick marks to show 10, 20, 30, and 60 degrees left and right. The roll scale also has a triangle to show 0 and 45 degrees. The roll scale pointer moves in a circular motion below the roll scale and about the aircraft reference symbol. The heading scale is shown as tick marks along the 0-degree pitch line every 5 degrees. The digital heading is shown in the primary mode in the lower center of the combiner and contains 3 digits. In A3, IMC, and VMC modes, the symbol is below the roll scale. The airspeed data is displayed in both analog and digital format. In the primary mode, the airspeed display consists of the computed airspeed, the vertical speed, and the ground speed. The airspeed trend vector is a vertical bar to tell what the airspeed will be in 10 seconds. Proper indication for low and high speeds is shown when appropriate. The current takeoff setting for V1, V2, VR, and VAP are shown when the reference speed is within the airspeed scale. The speed error tape is positioned on the left wing of the flight path symbol. If the airspeed is faster than the target speed, the speed error tape rises above the wing proportional to the speed error. Likewise, if the airspeed is lower than the target speed, the speed error tape falls below the wing. Each 1 degree of speed error tape length, about the diameter of the flight path circle, represents 5 knots of airspeed error. The tape length is limited to 15 knots of error. The speed error tape is displayed in all HDS modes. However, it is not displayed when the flight director modes are go around, wind shear, vertical speed, or FLC. The altitude information is displayed by the barometric altitude, baro correction readout, digital selected altitude, and digital radio altitude. An altitude trend vector is displayed by a bar above or below the altitude index. The length of the symbol is proportional to the trend value, with the tip indicating the predicted altitude in 6 seconds. Low altitude awareness consists of a horizontal line at the bottom of the altitude tape. The flight path symbol is unique information not available in conventional head-down displays. The flight path symbol is inertially derived and shows the actual flight path vector of the aircraft. The pilot can maneuver and fly the aircraft flight path to the desired point. The acceleration or deceleration of the aircraft along the flight path is indicated by the flight path acceleration symbol and is an indication of the total sum of all forces acting on the aircraft, including thrust, drag, and air mass. This symbol combines both inertial and air mass-based accelerations and is useful as throttle control indicator. The symbol is positioned in flight to the left of the flight path symbol. When it is above the wing of the flight path symbol, the aircraft is accelerating. When it is below the flight path wing, the aircraft is decelerating. The flight path acceleration symbol can be used in combination with the airspeed error symbol to maintain target airspeed. For example, when the airspeed error tape is above the wing of the flight path symbol, the throttles can be adjusted to bring the position of the flight path acceleration symbol below the wing of the flight path symbol by approximately the same distance. The guidance cue symbol functions as a functional single cue flight director that is designed for control of flight path. For the pilot, the objective is to capture the guidance cue inside the flight path circle using pitch and roll control inputs. The flight director armed and capture modes are located at the top center portion of the display. The navigation data, such as ILS, VOR, DME, FMS, and marker beacons, are displayed in analog and digital format at the lower portion of the display. The wind speed and direction are shown in the top right corner of the display. When the aircraft is on the ground, several symbols are removed or replaced. After takeoff rotation, the full in-flight set of symbols is restored. The primary mode can be selected at the HCP or by pressing the throttle go-around switch during any mode of operation.